committee members, what aspects of your personality make you feel equipped for the position of vice primaria?
That's nice. Thank you. I feel as though the characteristics that of myself, I feel as though that I am someone who's really easy to approach. So if they might feel a bit scared to go to their HC, they can more than welcome to come to me. I feel as though that's a really big thing, the fact that I'm quite approachable and quite reliable. Also feel as though that there are certain things regarding safety, which is a very big part of the vice prim thing, as I really believe in safety. And I know that there is parts of safety that I would like to add on to, such as wellness, as that is regarding safety. So I do believe that that the fact that I'm extremely approachable, and I do believe that those are important factors in being vice prim as well as an HC member.
Okay, thank you so much. We'll now take questions from the house. So you guys know the drill by now, I think. Just raise your hand if you have a question, and we'll take the first three and then go. Okay, Meg, who else just put up their hand? I only see a student number. Luyanda, and then Alzette. Okay, thank you so much. That's the order we'll go in.
Hi, Tam.
Hey, Meg.
So it's no secret that vice prim has to deal with safety, and I'm talking about like the original safety things, like physical safety. Are there any things that you can think of offhand that you would like to improve on in terms of physical safety for Harmony? Because, okay, let's say the fire alarm was quite an issue that we have like dealt with, but that's not necessarily like all that we could potentially improve on.
So it just cut off a little bit towards the end.
Sorry, I was just saying that, like, is there anything else that you think that Harmony in physical safety could improve on?
I feel as though Harmony, as like a residence, we could have more like talks on safety as a whole, as well as making people aware of like the certain protocols that we have in res that are not just like pieces of paper that we get, that these are actual conversations that we do need to have in case there is a fire drill or an actual fire. I do believe that regarding safety, we should have, I did say this now, but I think I just want to elaborate a little bit, like talks on safety regarding physical like protection or just like more talks on safety within res, because I don't think we've had that as often as we should.
Thanks for the question, Meg. Luyanda, your question.
Hi, Tamlyn.
Hello.
So I just wanted to ask, because we all come from very different backgrounds, how do you think we can open the conversation of race and sexuality and other social injustices?
I believe that where there's a problem, there's always a way that we can bring it forward. So I believe that with certain portfolios, I believe that these have those specific roles, especially with regards to critical engagement. And I do believe that where we can improve is very much in the way that we approach. So if we're approaching in a gentle way and in a way that's wanting to help and wanting to make people feel comfortable to have these conversations, I feel as though that's a very big part of why I would want to serve and why I would want to lead and why I would like to have those uncomfortable conversations. So I do believe that where we can, we should. And I do believe that as though we come from different backgrounds, many people might not feel comfortable speaking in a whole group of people, which is where I would like the opportunity to have the individual conversations, because I do feel that that is as important as group conversations.
Thank you.
No problem.
Thanks for your question, Leander, and thanks for your response, Tamlyn. Alzette, your question.
Hi, Tamlyn.
Hello.
I actually have the opposite of Mari's question in a way. what are some of your, I don't want to call it weak points or negative qualities, but what are those things that you need to overcome, and how will you work on that to reach your full potential as a vice primaria?
I feel as though the fact that I'm quite prideful is a very big problem that I'm working on. Not problem, but characteristic that I'm trying to deal with in a way that's not harmful to myself or anyone. So I do feel as though that's the one thing that because it being prideful can very much like prohibit you from reaching your full potential because you're afraid to do certain things. And that's the one. And I do feel as though that because I'm sometimes really soft on people, that I don't actually have like a stern thing, a stern characteristic that I that could lets people walk all over me in a way that they think they can just do whatever they want to do. But I'm working on that in a way that's really me spending a lot of time with myself, which is something that I've been doing a lot, especially during lockdown. That was very easy to do because you weren't really seeing people. Only people I saw was my family, so that was quite easy. And accepting help from people as well, which is coming back to the prideful thing, is something that I'm learning to do more and more every day. Something as simple as walking to the mall by myself. I don't like it. So it's always been like, Mari, can you walk with me to the mall? Milena, can you walk with me to the mall? So those are it's something so small, but for me, it's something that I really am learning to overcome. That's in my general life as well as my leadership role.
Thank you so much for the question and for your response. We've got 8 minutes left, so we're about halfway, so we can take another round of questions. Just raise your hands. Okay, Jess, Sam, and Milena. Okay, in that order.
Hi, Tamlyn. So, question, that's sort of a statement. So it's no secret that Harmony is kind of like one of the lesser known and lesser talked about residences on campus, even though we're one of the oldest. So what do you think is the way to get our name out there and promote Harmony, obviously excluding socials with other residences?
Thank you. I do believe that we made our name this year with Molasses Sad, which I think was amazing because many people still don't know, still don't know who we are, and that's terrible considering that we're a historical landmark for this university. So I do think I'm also not like with regards to socials, that is a way, but I feel as though doing things that are proactive as a res, such as maybe having like a group for girls where we can promote each other and like hype each other up, or just have like not socials, but socials within res first, but also just groups of girls or females or whatever you may identify as, that could come together and just like be who you need to be. But I do feel as a res we need to be able to do more things that promote who we are in that way that is more like that. Yeah.
Thanks for the question, Jess, and for your answer, Tamlyn. Sam. Happy birthday, by the way, Sam.
Thank you. Can you hear me?
Do you mind just speaking a bit louder?
Okay, I wanted to ask how you would go about promoting mental wellness in res.
Okay. Firstly, happy birthday. And then secondly, I feel as though, because I think I mentioned it in my speech, that it's something that's very important to me because it's something that I suffer with myself. So I feel as though, I think I spoke about earlier on with regards to safety, that should be a portfolio on its own, especially with everything going on right now. Mental illness or mental health is something that has become a part of my own daily life. And I feel as though myself, if that is where we go with regards to that being a portfolio, we should be encouraging and having more conversations. I feel like lives are very important with regards to just communicating with each other about how we're doing. And I feel as though just conversations, like explaining certain types of mental health disorders, or just checking up on each other, not that is my responsibility as a whole, but as a house or as a vice prim or as an HC member, I feel like that's extremely important, to just make sure that your community is fine as well, and that you can provide some type of support, whether it be an ear, whether it be a flower or a chocolate, just to make people feel loved.
Thank you once again for the question and for your response, Tamlyn. Milena, your question.
So my question is, I feel like I need to ask this because I feel like a lot of people are thinking about it and wondering about this. So I don't think it's a secret that we are friends. And I just want to know that if you are elected in the position of vice prim, how will you go about being my friend, but also being vice prim? And how will you navigate the two different types of relationships?
I feel as though the fact that you're my best friend helps. So I feel as though the fact that we already have this absolutely incredible foundation of friendship, I feel like that helps with, should I get it, that helps with the fact that we already as friends have those like difficult conversations, especially I've come to you as an HC and you as a fellow HC with regards to certain things in my portfolio that I may not feel that you've come to me with like advice on how to make it better. And I think that's one of the best things that we've had as friendship, as like a friendship. And I think that with regards to you being prim and me hopefully being vice prim, that could only better, because we've had those uncomfortable conversations as friends already, as well as HC members on the same team. So I think communication between the two of us would be extremely important, as it already is, as well as just being open and honest with each other with regards to should things affect the team, as well as affecting our friendship, because our friendship was there first. But the fact that we've been in leadership together, I think that's only made, or would hopefully make, our friendship way better and way much more like stronger. And I do feel as though the fact that we already have that foundation is to our advantage.
Thank you so much for the question and then for your answer, Tamlyn. Danielle, you put in the chat, you don't have the hand option, but you have a question, so go for it.
Okay. Hi, Tamlyn. I hope you're well.
I'm on your side.
I'm good, thanks. I just wanted to ask you, to what extent do you think leadership, and specifically being in the position of a vice prim, will influence the choices you make in your personal life? So to what extent do you feel you should be held accountable for personal decisions that you make, since you're making it, so to what extent are you making decisions in your authority as a prim and not just a personal decision?
I think if I'm making a personal decision that affects the house, that is where I should be held accountable. But I do feel as though your personal life and your leadership abilities are not one in the same. So I feel as though the way that I lead shouldn't maybe be as affected. Should I make a decision that isn't bad, or putting the way that I lead in a negative light, or the house in a negative light? Yeah, hope that answers your question.
Okay, we're almost out of time, so if we have one final question, speak now. Anybody? Okay, Ruve.
Hey, Tamlyn. I hope it's going well. Just to add on to Milena's question about the fact that you guys are very good friends, if you disagree on something, how do you think you will go about solving that if you guys are Prim and Vice Prim together?
I feel as though Milena and I, we already have that, because we don't agree on everything. We do have moments or things that we do disagree on as friends, as well as being in a team together. And I think we've dealt with that pretty well, where it doesn't need to become a thing within our team that not many people actually know. So I think that with the fact that we are friends does make that a lot easier, and a lot, we have that ability to separate our friendship disagreements or our leadership agreements as very much separate, as instead of it being, well, if our friendship, we disagree in our friendship, it doesn't necessarily affect our ability to lead or ability to be in an HC team together.
Okay, thanks.
No problem.
Thank you, Reve, for your question, and thank you, Tamlyn, for your answer. If I'm right, Chloe, that is our 15 minutes up. Let me know if I'm incorrect. Okay, so thank you so much, Tamlyn, once again, for giving up your time. Thank you, everyone, for your questions. Same thing as with today, I'm just blown away by the range of questions and the intelligence behind each question, and I really think it speaks to a strong house, and it's something I've been saying since whenever I was in first year, is that Harmony takes leadership seriously, and I really see that every year when it comes to Caucus and to the candidates themselves, the speeches, the questions, all of that. So thank you once again, everyone who joined this call and who asked a question. The voting for Vice Prim will be sent out tomorrow morning, and it opens